מעוזו, הללוהו בגבורותיו, הללוהו כרוב גודלו. הללויה, 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 הללויה. הללוהו בתיק השופר, הללוהו בנבב וכינור, הללוהו וטוף ומחול, הללוהו במילים ועוגה. הללויה, 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 הללויה. הללוהו בצלצלי שמה, הללוהו בצלצלי תרועה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, כל הנשמה תהלליה. הללויה.
Boker Tov, good morning. My name is Andy Offit, and I serve as chair of the Board of Trustees of Hebrew College. And I want to welcome you to our 96th commencement. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the college, it's with great pleasure that I open these commencement ceremonies. Graduation is a time of special celebration, and I want to congratulate all of our graduates, our honorees, and their families. We are very proud of all of you. And now I would like to turn the commencement ceremonies over to our president, Rabbi Sharon Cohen-Anisfeld.
Good morning and thank you. To our graduates, on behalf of our faculty, staff, and alumni, on behalf of the Hebrew College Board of Trustees, on behalf of the entire Hebrew College community, I am delighted to congratulate you today and to wish you a warm and heartfelt Mazal Tov. To all those who have supported and sustained you, who have rooted for you, who have believed in you, family members, mentors, colleagues, communities, and friends, thank you all, and congratulations to you as well. We are sorry once again not to be able to gather with all of you in person. Nonetheless, we are overflowing with gratitude, pride, and joy as we mark this milestone with you today. And we're thrilled that so many of your loved ones, near and far, are able to celebrate with us virtually as well. I want to ask you to take a moment now to think about all the people who have been with you on your journey, who have helped bring you to this moment. Think back to a person who first kindled your love of Jewish learning, or who saw something in you, who had faith in you and encouraged you to bring your unique gifts to the world. Think about who helped you decide to become a rabbi or a cantor or a Jewish educator. Think about who helped you decide to keep going, even when you doubted yourself, or when things conspired to make it more difficult than you had ever imagined. Think also about people who have been touched by your own teaching. Someone you've accompanied through hardship, someone for whom you have been a source of wisdom, comfort, hope, someone who felt outside and you invited in, someone who has felt heard by you or seen themselves reflected more fully through your eyes. We have learned this year in such deep ways we never could have imagined, that even when we are not physically together, we do not stand alone. We do not journey alone. To paraphrase the poet Robert Frost, "We work together," I said from the heart, "whether we work together or apart." Our actions have ripples we cannot begin to fully understand. We are each held in a complex web of relationships that both limit us and lift us up. And together we are held in the embrace of the Holy One, who sustains and connects us all. I say this today with a particular sense of urgency, because even as this past year has revealed to us the stark and tender truth of our interconnection, it has also revealed deep tears in the fabric of our society and in our own communities. My fervent hope is that as leaders, as teachers and singers and sacred weavers of Torah and life, you will strive to be a force for greater connection and compassion, greater empathy, greater humanity, greater dignity for all. The pluralism that has infused your education here at Hebrew College flows from our conviction that every human soul is a unique reflection of the divine. Human diversity is sacred and woven into the very fabric of creation. The dialogue that takes place in our classrooms and around the tables of our Beit Midrash is therefore not only a battle of ideas, but a meeting of souls, an encounter of whole human beings. You are stepping into the work of spiritual, educational, and communal leadership at an enormously complex and challenging time. We are witnessing the deepening of divisions among us, extremism begetting extremism, hate begetting hate, self-righteous speech mistaken for righteous action, polarization mistaken for principle, hearts hardening against each other. In this context, the decision to try to bridge, to try to humanize, to try to heal, is a courageous decision in and of itself. You will have to decide that this is where you want to stand, on the side of compassion, on the side of complexity, on the side of human connection. I hope with all my heart that you will. I hope that when you're tempted to retreat, as we all are at times, you will try to stay in relationship. Take a break when you need to. Breaks are important, but stay, listen, admit when you've made a mistake, forgive when someone else has. Assume you are in this for the long haul. If you want to teach others the importance of empathy, treat them with empathy. If you want to teach others the importance of humility, treat them with humility. If you want to teach others the importance of listening, listen. I hope that you will return again and again to the principle of Tselem Elohim that you have learned together here. When in doubt, humanize. A vital part of what this means is to remember that we are all more than one thing. We contain multitudes. And when we confuse a part of a person's identity or experience for the totality of who they are, we diminish the fullness of their humanity. This essential act of dehumanization is at the heart of so many forms of prejudice and most systems of oppression. It is also manifest in the polarized and polarizing discourse of our time, in the easy demonization of those who disagree with us. And at its root, it is an expression of a kind of idolatry. Moshe Halbertal and Avishai Margalit write in their book Idolatry that one classical form of idolatry is, quote, the worship of an aspect of the divine, the separation of a part from its unity, and the worship of that separated part. I would argue that it is similarly idolatrous to take one aspect of a human being, created in the divine image, and mistake it for the whole. When we flatten ourselves or each other in this way, we diminish our humanity, and we diminish the one in whose image we are made. Rabbi Arthur Green has shared with us a teaching from his teacher, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. Why is the Torah so concerned with idolatry? You might think that it is because God has no image, and any image of God is therefore a distortion. No, Heschel said. It is precisely because God has an image that idols are forbidden. You are the image of God. But the only medium in which you can shape that image is that of your entire life. To take anything less than a full, living, breathing human being and try to create God's image out of it, that diminishes the divine and is considered idolatry. The work that you are going to do as educators, as cantors, and as rabbis is work that by definition can only be done in relationship with others. And the measure of your leadership will not be the brilliance of what you can accomplish alone, but the beauty of what you can build with others by eliciting, inspiring, and drawing forth the very best in them. In a few days, we will mark the beginning of a new Hebrew month, Rosh Tammuz. Remember that the announcement of the new moon in ancient Jerusalem began when two witnesses came before the Beit Din and testified that they had seen the first sliver of moon. Once their testimony was accepted, a signal was sent out. A messenger waiting on a mountaintop in Jerusalem would light a bonfire. Another messenger waiting on the next mountaintop would see the light of the first fire and kindle his own, and so on from mountaintop to mountaintop, all the way from Jerusalem to Babylonia. Today, I would add all the way to Newton, Massachusetts, and to every community and every hilltop where you will go on to serve. Today, we celebrate the hope for renewal that becomes possible when we watch carefully for the lights that are kindled by those around us and add to that light by kindling our own fires. In this new month, in this year, wherever you are, may you help those around you be attentive, generous, loving witnesses to one another, ready to see bonfires on the horizon, ready to see the promise in each human being, ready to see slivers of possibility in the sky. I turn now to our first honorary degree recipient this year, Rabbi Nancy Flam. It is an honor for Hebrew College to present her with this token of our recognition and admiration. Rabbi Flam, we bestow this recognition upon you for the tremendous contribution you have made to the quality of life in the American Jewish community over the past 30 years. You are a creator of institutions that you imbue with your deep sense of humanity and caring. And ever so gentle but strong leader, you have brought attention to the inner life to the fore in the lives of hundreds of rabbis and cantors, deepening the life of Jewish faith among thousands of their congregants and students. A graduate of Dartmouth College and the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion, you were first drawn to the world of Jewish healing, co-founding the National Center for Jewish Healing and directing the Jewish Community Healing Program of Ruach Ami, the Bay Area Jewish Healing Center. Having been drawn to the experience of meditation, you were a co-founder, along with Rabbi Rachel Cowan, Zichrona Livracha, and others, of the Institute of Jewish Spirituality. For many years, your gentle facilitation and leadership guided the spirit of that important center of spiritual renewal in the Jewish community. You continue as a loving teacher of many in your various communities, both locally in the Pioneer Valley and throughout North America. Rabbi Nancy Flam, in recognition of all that you have done as a leader in the North American Jewish community, the Board of Trustees of Hebrew College have voted to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. It is my privilege and great joy to confer that degree upon you now.
Thank you so very much, Rabbi Cohen Annisfeld. And thank you too to Rabbi Art Green, my deeply beloved and honored teacher. And thank you to the Board of Trustees of Hebrew College. It is so moving to receive this recognition from you and from this institution I so admire. I extend a heartfelt wish of congratulations to each one of you graduates on this wonderful day. I'd like to share just a few words, starting with a poem I wrote some decades ago. Being young is no picnic. There you are, a giant soul in a tiny body, beset by the overwhelming task of learning how to become a person. Use a toilet, eat with utensils, speak a language, convey your needs, dress right, look attractive, relate to television, have something to say. And then at some point, they start asking you what you want to be when you grow up. A fireman? A teacher? An astronaut? The president? What you want to be when you grow up. In terms of work, they mean profession, social role, identity. You are 10, fascinated with drawing designs in dirt, marveling as you look up at the source of shade that plums grow on suburban trees. You are full of fears and your parents' unspoken unhappiness, and the knowledge that you are very small in a human world you do not understand. And they ask you what you want to be when you grow up, and all you can think of is one thing. And you know it is not what they mean. And you know you cannot say it. And you know it is true. It comes from that place no one names. They ask you and you shrug. First deceptions to protect your soul. And you think, wiser. It's true. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up, wiser. And to some extent, it worked out. But I did, after all, get a profession. I became a rabbi. Doing so allowed me to trade in wisdom, as it were. When I look back on my work and my life, wisdom is the sacred thread that always drew me. You too have a sacred thread that drew you and draws you now to your profession. It is the chut shel chesed, the steadfast thread that accompanies you by day and by night. Today you celebrate the work of these past years and the appellations you now bear: rabbi, cantor, educator, master of arts and of Jewish studies. It is a day to glory in these hard-won titles and to wear them like a crown. Your job in the years going forward will be to keep your own thread woven tightly into all you do as rabbi, cantor, and educator. Titles bestow power, and power can be seductive. Let me tell you, our yetzer, our ego inclination, really likes honors and titles. Of course, without the yetzer, houses would not be built and babies would not be born. Or we might say, without knowledge and titles, houses of study would not be built and generations of students would not be raised. But the yetzer is wily. It sometimes will draw you into an over-identification with your title. And when that happens, the thread can get lost. You will need to work hard to keep that deep impulse that brought you into your learning and your dedication clearly at the center of your life and your work. For me, that impulse was toward wisdom. For you, the thread of your dedication might be a love of God, a love of the Jewish people, a love of Torah, a call to tzedek u'mishpat, to service, or to all these things together. This thread of dedication is what you need for essential nourishment, and ultimately the place from which you will nourish others. As well-known educator Parker Palmer puts it in his language, we will certainly fail ourselves and we will fail each other if we fail to keep role and soul together. I'll close with a brief poem by William Stafford called The Way It Is. There's a thread you follow. It goes among things that change, but it doesn't change. People wonder about what you are pursuing. You have to explain about the thread, but it's hard for others to see. While you hold it, you can't get lost. Tragedies happen, people get hurt or die, and you suffer and get old. Nothing you can do to stop time's unfolding. You don't ever let go of the thread. May you indeed never let go of the thread. Mazal tov, congratulations.
The second candidate for a Hebrew College honorary degree this year is Dr. Milila Hellner Eshed, joining us today from Jerusalem. Dr. Hellner Eshed is, in the words of our own rector and teacher, Dr. Arthur Green, quote, the world's greatest Zohar teacher. We bestow this honor upon you for the way you have taken your great learning and your deep love of this classic of Jewish literature and have learned to share it with so many students and readers in Israel and throughout the world. As the leading student of Professor Yehuda Libes at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, you turned away from the narrow path of a strictly academic career and chose to teach and write about the Zohar in ways that see it as a great religious and literary document, one that has much to say to the spiritual seekers of our own day, many of whom you have encountered in your frequent trips to India. As a member of the faculty at the Shalom Hartman Institute, you have become an important teacher to many North American rabbis and community leaders. Our own Hebrew College students, while spending their year of studies in Israel, have joined with many others in the great blessing of becoming your students. Dr. Milila Hellner Eshed, in recognition of all that you have done as a scholar, a seeker, and a teacher of teachers, the Board of Trustees of Hebrew College have voted to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. It is my privilege and great joy to confer that degree upon you now.
Thank you, dear Sharon. I'm honored to speak on the occasion of the commencement this year. And I'm asking myself, what does my heart murmur that I wish my mouth to reveal to you today? Life is more mysterious than anything you might think. People are more amazing than we might feel. The pits of sorrow and pain cannot be passed by silently. Grieving is needed. And the well springs of joy and love are there to be drawn from. God manifests in endless faces, and the Torah is being given always, and she is filled with concealed surprises and mysteries awaiting to be revealed by you. And my heart murmurs as well that the Shekhinah weeps, grieving over the violence her children are causing each other all over this world. We can support her with acts of tzedek, justice, and chesed, with our fellow human beings and with life on this planet of ours. And the Jewish tradition has great treasures to be quarried by you. I wish to share with you one of my most beloved Zohar moments when a mysterious celestial voice calls out its wake-up call and pronounces the prerequisites of joining the circle of the companions, the Chevraya here in this world. I wish to turn the words of this call to a prayer and blessing. The voice returned as before and said, "O low sleeping one, closed eyes, awake! Who amongst you turns darkness into light? Man minchon dichashocha mehapchan lenehora." May you find on the paths of life you will walk on your ability, tiny, small, or great, to turn darkness into light, to learn darkness, and transform it into light through healing, teaching, praying, and acknowledging. And the Zohar continues, "Who amongst you tastes the bitter as sweet before arriving here? Man minchon ta'amin merira lemitka ad la yetunhacha." May you find the patience, perseverance, and arichut ruach, extended breath, to be able to take in and taste the experience of bitterness, the maror of life, until layer after layer of knowing it allows you to find the sweet within it. And who amongst you, says the Zohar, awaits each day the light that shines when the king visits the doe? Man minchon demechaka'an bechol yoma lenehora denahir bishata de malka pakid le'ayalta. May you have the steadfastness and optimism, tikva and hope, to await the light of dawn every day, to believe that the king and the doe, the masculine and the feminine, the Kadosh Baruch Hu and the Shekhinah, or any elements in our world distanced and estranged from each other, may we know, even for moments, that there are the possibilities of connection and harmony. Sometimes, just by being present with shevach and praise at the moments of dawn of a new day gives us that hope. Amen.
We turn now to honoring you, our graduates, from our programs in Jewish education, Jewish studies, and rabbinic and cantorial ordination. It is my honor to present to you Rabbi Dr. Michael Shire, who will present the candidates for a Master's of Jewish Education and a Master's of Jewish Studies. Followed by the presentation of those degrees, Rabbi Dr. Dan Judson will present the candidates for rabbinic and cantorial ordination.
I'm pleased to announce the students who have completed the requirements for certificate and degrees from the Jewish Education and Jewish Studies graduate leadership programs at Hebrew College. The Master's degree in Jewish Studies and Jewish Liberal Studies are dedicated to immersing students in the history, thought, and practice of Jewish life, past and present. History, memory, and tradition are the focus of study, culminating in a personally chosen research thesis. The program offers each student an insight into the enduring legacy of the Jewish story, while continuing to build and expand that legacy through their learning and writing. And so it is with great pleasure and appreciation that I read the name for the candidate of the Master of Jewish Liberal Studies, Sean Eugene Ayer, and the candidates for the Master of Arts in Jewish Studies, Eileen Laurie Aub, Sherry Lynn Berman Carignan, Laura Ann Berry, Jean Libby Snodgrass, Lynn R. Wilson. The degrees in the Master of Jewish Education program seek to develop and nurture outstanding leaders for the field of Jewish education. Deepening pedagogic content knowledge and skills, we educate professionals who can transform Jewish educational settings with innovative teaching and learning that inspires creativity, encourages spirituality, and includes diverse learners. The nurturing of Jewish educators has been a core component of Hebrew College's mission since its founding. Offering degrees in education as well as professional certificates, the education program, through on-campus and distance learning, aims to develop leaders and educators for diverse educational settings. Our students engaged in the work of schools and synagogues, community centers and agencies, participate in coursework of Jewish studies and pedagogy, undergo supervised field experience, and develop an empirical research study in an area of their interest. It is with great pleasure that I announce the candidate for Certificate in Jewish Special Education, Deborah Hollander. It is with great pleasure and appreciation that I read the names of the candidates for Master of Jewish Education, Bridget Erin Connor Feldbaum, Rebecca Lena Good, Deborah Barnard Sana. I also wish to acknowledge those students who have completed their studies in our Pardes Educators Program, an intense program for individuals pursuing a career in day school education. This program is a creative collaboration between Hebrew College and the Pardes Institute in Jerusalem, designed to train inspiring day school leaders for the North American Jewish community. Students study in the Beit Midrash at Pardes, whilst also taking online classes at Hebrew College, as well as engaged in supervised student teaching. Having fulfilled the requirements of the program, these students have earned a Master of Jewish Education degree with a specialization in day school education. I join with our colleagues in Jerusalem in congratulating them on their high achievement. The candidates for the Master in Jewish Education with a specialization in day school education are Caleb Allen Adams, Martin Joseph Brophy III, Miriam Farb, Melissa Aviva Frank. Students electing to take a dual degree in Jewish education and Jewish studies are also engaged in an intensive program combining the learning in history, tradition, and thought, along with pedagogy, curriculum, and instruction. This is truly a remarkable achievement, and so I'm proud to announce the candidates for the dual degrees of Master of Jewish Education and Master of Arts in Jewish Studies. Emily Dara Brox, Jennifer Eileen Dax, Jessie Leah Koppel Rubenstein. In addition, I wish to recognize all those rabbinic and cantorial students who elect to take a degree in Jewish education alongside their ordination studies. This is a particular opportunity afforded to ordination students and entails coursework, field experience, and thesis beyond the regular ordination requirements. It is a wonderful opportunity for rabbinic, cantorial, and education students to study and learn with each other and from each other. This year has been an endurance test beyond the regular academic expectations for all of our students. And so it is with personal admiration and gratitude that I offer you my warmest congratulations. You have persevered and achieved your aspirations. All of us on the faculty are proud of you and all that you have accomplished. Chazak, chazak v'nitchazek. Let us continue to strengthen each other as you go forward on your learning journey. Thank you.
I'm pleased to continue with conferring degrees to students in our music, cantorial, and rabbinical programs. In addition to their certificates of ordination, they've each earned a master's degree in either Jewish studies or Jewish education. This afternoon, they will participate in special ordination ceremonies and will receive blessings from the faculty in recognition of their new status as cantors and rabbis. Today, we have the opportunity to celebrate with them as an entire Hebrew College community and to confer upon them their degrees. We will begin with our candidates for cantorial ordination. Our cantorial program fuses traditional Jewish text and liturgy with innovative musical and spiritual programming to meet the needs of 21st century Judaism. I'm very pleased to present the candidates who have completed the requirements for cantorial ordination. Jana Rachel Schachter, Mark Lewis Stober, Jessica Wolf Silverberg. Mazel tov to all of you. The rabbinical program of Hebrew College combines traditional text study of the highest standard with graduate academic and professional training to prepare rabbis who are well-versed in Jewish texts and traditions and who have the knowledge, sensitivity, and skill needed to serve and inspire 21st century Jewish communities. I'm pleased to present the candidates who have completed their requirements for rabbinical ordination. Samuel Robert Blumberg, Tyler Harris Dratch, Max Leonard Edwards, Dina Rachel Glasgow, Justin Philip Held, Rachel Polly Kaplan, Amalia Leah Mark, Cantor Ken P. Richmond, Shoshana Leah Rosenbaum, Jamie Allen Silverstein Stolper. Mazel tov to all of you. This has been a very difficult year, your last year of cantorial and rabbinical school. My congratulations to all of you for having made it through it and having reached the end. Mazel tov and congratulations.
Today's graduates from the various schools and programs of Hebrew College have been nourished in a vibrant, pluralistic community dedicated to excellence in Jewish learning and leadership. As we mark the 99th year since the founding of Hebrew College in 1921, we look toward our centennial this fall with a great sense of excitement and with renewed commitment to our enduring educational mission, inspiring and enabling students of diverse backgrounds to draw deeply from the wells of our past while being open and of service to a world in need of healing and of hope. We are tremendously proud of our graduates as they join their colleagues, serving as compelling and compassionate spiritual, communal, and educational leaders, enriching Jewish life here in North America, in Israel, and throughout the world. Mazal Tov, may you go from strength to strength.
Hello, graduates of 2021 Rabbinical School.
Mazal Tov to everybody.
Mazel tov to all the graduates.
Mazel tov to the graduates and the ordinees of the class of 2021.
Hebrew College's class of 2021, congratulations. For those of you who've been filling out financial aid paperwork over these past several years, I know it's going to be disappointing, but you might never again have to file a FAFSA. And you're going to have to get past that disappointment. You got great things ahead of you. We're wishing you all the best. And Mazel Tov.
You did a challenging, powerful, rigorous program that is intense under the best of circumstances, and you did it under very strange and difficult circumstances, and we're proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to you. I can't wait to see what you'll accomplish.
You've accomplished great things in a very challenging time. Go out into the world with strength and confidence and compassion and joy, and you will all do wonderful things.
What an amazing accomplishment, graduating during a pandemic. This year has been like the little engine that could. Each of you thought you could, and you've made it up and over the hill. So proud of you.
I can't imagine what it must be like preparing for this in such a surreal time. But please know that all of us on the staff are continuing to cheer for you even after you've graduated and been ordained, and we just wish you the very best of luck. We know you will be awesome, and I wish I could be there in person to applaud you and celebrate with you.
Your curiosity that brought you to Hebrew College will carry you even further after you've graduated. Congratulations, and wishing you lots of success on your journey ahead.
I'm so excited. I'm so proud and so excited to see the Torah that you're going to go out in the world and teach, and not just teach, but model what it means to live a life of Torah and being in relationship with Torah. Mazel Tov. So excited to see what you do out there in the world.
באושר גדול, בהוקרה רבה ובתקוות נישאות, אנחנו משלחים אתכם, תלמידינו היקרים, מהכתלים החומריים והווירטואליים של בית מדרשנו. צאו ויישמו את התורה שרכשתם פה לתיקון הנחוץ כל כך לעולמנו.
Congratulations to all the graduates of 2021. It's been an extraordinary year. You have worked so hard, and it's been incredible that you were able to achieve such great success. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I want to wish you all a hearty Mazel Tov.